This episode is sponsored by Scrap App. Number one in the App Store for beating the brakes off a motherfucker is Scrap App. Simply download the free app, square up in your profile pic, and within minutes, you'll be beating Earth, Wind, and Fire out an op, guaranteed. Help bring an end to anonymous online rage baiters and clean some clocks today. Mollywopping a mud hole in somebody's ass just got easier. Become a Scrappy today. Download Scrap App. This ad brought to you by Chokeout Industries. If you see us and you ain't call us, it's already too late.
Shit. Look, it's no country for old motherfuckers.
This is No Country, and we here with Sam J.
Yeah.
Y'all don't understand. Up and coming. This is real time watching the accolades and the career and everything happen. I know what that's like. Y'all need to know Netflix specials. Writer for SNL. If you didn't get a chance to see, she co-starred in that. And many other things. Like I said, I'm pretty sure we're going to touch on. But y'all make sure y'all give it up. Sam J is in the building over here.
Yeah.
So first off, me and Dave, we was kind of touching on this earlier. We got to kind of be a little until the whole strike is clearly over.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But like we were saying too, like, being that we got a little motion right now, maybe, if we got to hold off for a second and then, but we just want to have, the dope conversation. We already know we got you in the building. So we just want to be clean with everything. But welcome. Thank you for coming through. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you for having me. Yeah.
Man, listen, it's an honor and a pleasure. Like, seriously, like I've been watching. I'm a stand-up fan. I've been watching you for a minute. I'm a huge fan of Bust Down.
Thank you.
It was such a good joint. I really dug. I just appreciate your work a lot, and I just wanted to know like what it's feeling like for you right now, especially like you got something that just dropped, like it's still fresh off the press. Me and my wife just watched it the other day. Excellent, by the way.
Oh, thank you so much.
Excellent, by the way.
Thank you.
Like, how was that affecting you? Is it
I don't know that it's really affecting me at all quite yet. Like when you first put something out, like those first few days, it don't really feel like, I don't know. It's like kind of surreal. You don't really know. People are watching it, but it's not like, I'm getting here and there. It's like, yo, it's dope. It's dope. It's dope. I don't really search my name and stuff like that because I try to keep my sanity. You know what I mean? I just don't need to be reading everything. Everybody thinks that I don't need to know that. So I really only see like if someone tags me directly about something. And so far it's been like super straight. I'm just kind of chilling and just riding the wave, you know what I mean? I'm proud of what I made and I feel good about it. But other than that, I can't call it.
Nah, that's what's up. Well, that's why I kind of wanted to jump back and like I said, you came up in Beantown, in that area. I got a chance to spend some time down there and to talk about your formative years. Like I said, let's just coming from there, you know what I'm saying? How you get into that. And for the record, I'm gonna say this: like you look young, mad young. We all look, we all look younger than we are.
Right.
But yo, you look mad young. So
I know.
Yeah. So tell me, you know what I'm saying, from where you from, just how did that all come about and how you get into stand up for real?
Well, I mean, I grew up in Boston. I'm from a place called Dorchester. Well, I spent half of my life in Dorchester, half of my life in Roxbury. So, those are two big pockets of the city. And, Boston is kind of like a stand-up town on the low. Like a lot of good stand-ups come from Boston. They've always had like good clubs and stuff like that. So I started just going around to clubs with my cousin's husband. He was like a local stand-up. And that was kind of like my introduction into like just the world of comedy and how stand-up works and all that. But I was just more being like an observer and shit. I wasn't really like getting up yet. I was just kind of like, maybe I'm interested in this type of shit. And then I got up and it was whack. It was mad whack. I sucked. And I was like, this didn't really feel like I thought it was gonna feel. Like, I don't know. I didn't find that connection I thought was gonna be there like that.
Right.
And so I
Right.
kind of like fell back from it, and I was just like doing other stuff. And then I moved to Atlanta to go to school. So I was down in Atlanta for like 8 years doing a bunch of other shit, working odd jobs. I started fucking with music a little bit, just trying to find my way. And instead it was kind of always nagging in the back of my head, like I want to do this, but like I just don't really know how to do this type of thing. And then I got on stage in Atlanta. I was like 28, 28. And
Right.
I did like a mic like right after New Year's.
Mm.
And I did that, and it was okay. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't great. I was
Right.
just like, this is all right. But I
And push
still
forward.
didn't like jump in. And then I moved back home, and I was in Boston, and I was about to turn 29. And I was like, kind of like, damn, I gotta really just make a move. Like I gotta figure some shit out. Like, I don't want to be working bullshit jobs forever. I want to do something that I like to do and something that I care about. And I just gotta like stop being afraid of myself type of shit. Just had one of those
Mm.
conversations with myself. And then
Yeah.
I went to a mic and I just never looked back. I just kept going.
Wow.
That's fire. That's what's
Super
up.
dope.
Yo, and I appreciate that because even performers, one thing, people be like talking about stage fright. We always got that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, that never goes
It's
away.
just we just jump out there and it's like, well, now I'm in the pool, you know what
Right.
I'm saying? So,
That
but
never
it's
goes away.
it's that's amazing to, you know what I'm saying, to be able to do and follow and oh, your first jokes, do you still use any of those?
No. No, but it's like the jokes, I feel like they just always keep growing. So it's
Mm.
Right,
like there's like the essence of my early jokes and my new jokes, you know what I'm
Right.
saying?
right.
Because you're kind of always just growing and growing, like building on the ideas, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
But like I get so bored so quick. So I I can't do that. Like there's people who
Right.
just they gotta act, they do their act, that's the act. I am like, I love to play. So
Right.
I get bored up there fast. So like it's even sometimes my fiance have to remind me, like, she'll be like, that joke's so funny, why don't you do it anymore? And I'm like, oh, I forgot about it because I just started mentally moving on to other jokes or whatever. So now
right.
I can't really rock the old joints. The people would feel it. They would your love ain't in it. It's like
Mm.
you could tell when a comic is
It's just regurgitating something.
Right.
Yeah,
it comes off that way. You know what I'm saying?
right,
So that
right.
leads that's a great setup into a question I have. Like, what do you feel is the most challenging part about right? Because I write a lot of different things, and I've been kind of getting, like I promised my wife a while ago I was supposed to be doing stand up, so I'm like I'm picking people's brains and shit
Mm-hmm.
as I go
Mm-hmm.
along. It's like, what's the challenging part about because it sounds like it's real easy to you, it's kind of organic to you. Like, where is the challenge that you find in writing stand up and that sort of thing? Like,
I think it's when you're really like, what I find challenging is, you know, figuring out the angle. It's like whatever I'm talking about is like what angle, how do I want to go into it? How do I want to get out of it? You know what I'm saying? That's kind of where I find the challenge in it. It's not necessarily the writing, but especially once you start to get into, putting together an hour,
mm,
it's it's how the hour is gonna come together. Like the arcs, the themes, like how do you get all these jokes to kind of work together? How do you find that through line? How do you make sure that through line keeps like popping up and being present so that it's tracking the journey so that you're getting to this arc so that the audience kind of gets to take a ride up and escalate, 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 and they get that like payoff of the fear of like going up the roller coaster.
right.
They get that release of coming down, and like how do you make sure you're structuring the acts to give them all of that?
That goes into my next thing where I was gonna say, like, if you have any influences or favorite comedians, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Who would that be?
Man, I like so many people. I love comedy. So I I like a range of, I like
Mm.
so many people. Of course, I like Dave, Chris, Wanda Sykes, Sarah Silverman, Michael Ian Black. Uh I really, really, really like Bill Burr. I think he's very, very funny. Um, you know, Eddie Murphy, Bugs Bunny. I don't know. I just like, and then like the newer cats who are out, like Reggie Conquest and the Kevin Isos and Paris Sachets, and there's just so many funny people out right now, in comedy. And I just enjoy the art of it. So I really like I feel like my favorite comics switch every month or two. I'm like, oh, I'm into this now and that now. But I would have to say, like, for overall, like, I would say Chris Rock and like Dave Chappelle are probably like two of my biggest influences in like my formative comedy years.
That's a
So
dope.
when you did you do stand up and you've done like acting. Which one do you prefer?
I like both. It just depends on what I'm doing. I like both. I don't think I have a favorite. I think stand up will always be like I always look at stand up as like the root of the tree, and then in the trunk, and then like all these other things are like the branches. You know what I mean?
But
And
check this out. You write stand up. You got a whole
I was
character
about
that you
you about to
present
ask my
like a
question,
rapper.
ain't you?
Like a rapper now. Like let's say they come and get you like on some Tim Allen and like, yo, we about to do this TV show. Now you got to do it 5 seasons of a TV show for 5 years. You ain't had time to do no stand up right now. You gonna have to choose to act, and
Yeah,
that's gonna
but
be bread.
it's like each thing, at least as far as how it's been now, has come up um when I needed it.
It's
Like
gonna come. Yeah.
when I needed it, like when I was kind of getting drained on stand up,
Mhm.
another opportunity would present itself for me to be creative in a different way. And then like because stand up is like I control that, I can always like do it. You know what I'm saying? Like even when I was
Mhm.
writing that SNL, I was still going on doing like 3 sets a night because I'm kind of like always doing stand up.
Right.
I
And
feel
that
you. I feel
that
you.
that segues to a question I had, so like, you know, just kind of going into that balance in between disciplines. Like I know you seem like a writer kind of more so at heart too, you know what I mean? Like so like and I know you've written things like, had hands in writing Bust Down versus doing your stand up. Like what's the difference kind of is that the same wavelength?
One is just more collaborative. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like when I'm writing stand up, I'm just writing for myself. I don't really have to
Right.
think about nobody else or how it's gonna play outside of how I feel about it.
Yeah.
But like you writing, I'm writing a sketch for SNL or we're writing Bust Down. We got to think about how we all score, how we all win. Like in this scene, how we're gonna divvy up. Like we want to have this conversation about black molestation.
Mm.
How are we going to allocate each
Joke.
perspective? What's the best way for Chris to come into this? What's the best way for Jack to come into this? Sam to come into this? So you just have to consider all that other shit that when
Yep.
you're writing your own stand
And
up, like you just don't
complete the
gotta.
joke, like you said. It got to be,
Yeah,
as long as you can complete the joke, and
Yeah.
it makes the scene
It's
tighter.
it's the
yeah,
comparison for me to writing music because I've done that before, and like it's your solo album versus the one that you write in a group or in a
mm-hmm,
it's your solo joint versus the posse cut. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So,
exactly,
and it's the same consideration. It's like, do I step on, do we go back and forth on this verse? Where's
right,
the build that in the song? Where's the climax of it?
right.
That's a super dope answer. Like I'm literally mining you for information.
This episode is sponsored by Scrap App. Number one in the App Store for beating the brakes off a motherfucker is Scrap App. Simply download the free app, square up in your profile pic, and within minutes, you'll be beating Earth, Wind, and Fire out an op, guaranteed. Help bring an end to anonymous online rage baiters and clean some clocks today. Mollywomping the mud hole in somebody's ass just got easier. Become a scrappy today. Download Scrap App. This ad brought to you by Chokeout Industries. If you see us and you ain't call us, it's already too late. This episode is sponsored by Scrap App. Number one in the App Store for beating the brakes off a motherfucker is Scrap App. Simply download the free app, square up in your profile pic, and within minutes, you'll be beating Earth, Wind, and Fire out an op, guaranteed. Help Help bring an end to anonymous online rage baiters and clean some clocks today. Mollywomping a mud hole in somebody's ass just got easier. Become a Scrappy today. Download Scrap App. This ad brought to you by Chokeout Industries. If you see us and you ain't call us, it's already too late.